So, Sian, could you tell us a few words about yourself and your festival?
Yeah, sure. So the Melbourne Women in Film Festival was a festival I started with 3 other friends of mine in 2016, and we're all about showcasing our local women filmmakers, so filmmakers from Australia, filmmakers from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and also the wider Moana region, so the Pacific Islands as well. So that's our focus, and we're all about screening their work, creating conversations about their work, connecting with audiences, and putting on some really dynamic and hopefully really entertaining events every year.
And how long your festival has been around? And could you share your founding story with us?
Sure. So as I mentioned, we've 4 of us got together in 2016, and we launched with a mini festival over 2 days in 2017 around International Women's Day, so in sort of early March. But since then, we've grown to a 5-day event every year in February. And we started because we were all film academics teaching in various universities around Melbourne, and really wanted to highlight the invisibility of at least our local Australian women filmmakers in film history, as well as in a sort of contemporary sense for our students. And we find it really important to make this work visible, particularly for the next generation coming up through film schools, through sort of independent filmmaking circles. So it's all about that, filling that gap of visibility that is, well, not just in Australia but everywhere.
And talking about visibility and making stories visible, do you have an inspirational filmmaker story from your festival to share with us?
Yeah, I certainly do. So in 2018, so that was our first festival where we sort of expanded to 4 days, and we had a submission process for short films to enter. And one of our short filmmakers that we screened came down from Sydney, and she was just an absolute bundle of energy, and so positive and wonderful. But she just had such a great time meeting a lot of established filmmakers, particularly on our opening night. We had one of our greatest producers in Australia, Jade Chapman, there, along with another filmmaker Shirley Barrett, who has screened at Cannes with a great feature film from 1996. And so she got to meet them and was just so in awe of being able to sort of network and speak to people like that. We've sort of followed her career now over those sort of 4 or 5 years, and this year she has released her first feature film, so as a writer. And so we've sort of seen this growth of her career, and her getting some incredible initiatives from our national screen body, Screen Australia, to do this fantastic work. And now she's starting to enter that feature film territory, and we couldn't be prouder of her. Her name is Beena Bhattacharya. So
Yeah. And, this is kind of what I'm hearing also from other festivals, this ability to help somebody when they are starting and then seeing them grow, right? The beauty of that.
Yeah. I think that's part of what's really special about women's film festivals of any size, I think, is that focus to really showcase these incredibly talented women, and watch them, or help them in some way, continue on and make more work, because that's one of the issues, is that we sometimes see women sort of drop off after a first film, but we want to see more from them. And so there's at least, our platform is able to showcase that.
So this is one of the difficulties that you're seeing, kind of women making their first movie and then disappearing. It's harder for them to continue.
And I think that in Australia, because it is a bit of a different model to in the US, for example, that we're so reliant on government funding for projects, you definitely kind of see a bit of a drop off from a first film to the next, particularly in feature films. We have a really rich kind of space for women in documentary and places like that, but sometimes in terms of a more sort of traditional feature fiction film, it can be difficult for women to get the second one up, but it's slowly changing, thank God. So yeah.
And the last question: do you have any comments, any words about the fellowship? Something that you're enjoying or learning from?
Yeah, I think the thing I'm just really enjoying is speaking to other women's film festivals. I think it's just was such a great idea to have a cohort that are all kind of trying to do the same thing and have a very similar mission. What I found, it can be a bit isolating perhaps over here in Australia and not sort of hearing about what other women's film festivals are doing. And it's been kind of comforting to hear that we have the same challenges. Obviously have the same mission, but have the same challenges as well, and kind of trying to pick those apart to see how we can all improve and grow as festivals. So it's that kind of, I guess, networking element, that sort of sharing of experiences that I'm really enjoying being a part of.
Mm-hmm. And this is something that we are enjoying too, definitely. Thank you so much.